Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So for today's reading we are going to do a reading on what fears or changes you need to make or take. And speaking of which, I kind of wanted to just do a little quick self-promotion, and I'm going to get my big board here to talk about it. I have decided to start a Patreon because there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about and different types of content that I want to make. It's still going to have a lot of tarot. I'll just get the board. There's going to be different tiers as well, but for the first tier it's €3 a month, and this is the one I just want to talk about for now because the other two are not fully ready, so I wouldn't want to promote it yet because I don't have content ready for it. But for the freaking light's annoying. Anyway, so it's three a month. So there'll be weekly tarot videos. They'll be more in depth, more personal because there'll be less of you guys. So I will go deeper into the readings. I will also do more predictions. I'm not very predictions based on this channel because I just don't feel like it's always needed. But for anyone that's paying, obviously it's fun to, have a little bit of fun and do a little bit of prediction readings every now and again. And I also want to do some prediction readings on like world events and stuff like that. So that's something that I'm kind of excited to do. I've always wanted to do it, but I didn't want to do it on YouTube. Again, I am learning a lot about astrology, and I like using astrology as a way to kind of blend my style of reading tarot because I am very intuitive, but I also like to learn, and I also like to know the analytical side of spirituality, which is kind of like astrology, and reading tarot in a very like basing it all on like the symbolism and stuff like that. I like to know both sides. I have a lot of Libra in my chart, so I like to see both sides of stuff. So yeah, I want to start mixing astrology into tarot as well. So that'll be kind of linking it in with the weekly updates every week. But yeah, community, there'll be like an option to vote for what videos you want to see on YouTube, and also what videos you want to see on my Patreon. So I will be asking a lot more. I'll be engaging a lot more on there, and I'll probably be dedicating my time to the Patreon page because you guys are paying and I want to give you guys the most attention on there, because like I can kind of float around on Instagram and other places, and I just want to have a place where I can fully dive deep with everyone that wants to dive deep with me. So yeah, YouTube and Patreon. And then I'll be doing a weekly live stream. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do that on YouTube or not. I don't know. I think there's a way of doing it, but I don't think I want to do it that way. As in like having a chat room for just people who are... No, that's YouTube. Never mind. Sorry, I'm getting confused. But anyway, there'll be a weekly live answering spiritual questions, and I will do select like on the spot like live readings for everyone. And also you'll get a 20% discount to use on my website for private readings every month. So anyone that is a Patreon will always get 20% off my private readings. And yeah, videos about tarot. So I will start creating more educational videos, but that will only be for people who are on my Patreon, because I feel like those videos don't really get watched anyway on YouTube because YouTube sees me as a tarot reader. But if I start talking about like making educational videos on tarot, nobody really watches them. I don't know. I don't think people watch them, but people are interested in them. They just don't know they are. I think that's how I'm trying to explain it. But I want to make kind of educational videos that are also about my journey with tarot and how I understand it, which is not the way that most people understand it, because a lot of people think it has linked to do with religion and stuff like that, when it's just really not. But yeah, I can't wait because I have so much I want to talk about. Anyway, and this is a risk that I'm taking because it's something that goes against a lot of a lot of things that are in my chart with astrology. Like I am very much, I have a lot of lazy placements. Let's just say that. And I always kind of want to just stay comfortable. I love change though, but it's making the change. So that's kind of why I wanted to kind of make this reading about that, to see where you guys need a little kick in the right direction, because we can get comfortable and we like to stay comfortable. But when your soul is urging you to do something else, you need to listen. Because over time you're then going to fall in the trap of like routine, and you're going to lose a little bit of your connection to source and to faith and things like that, because you're going to be repeating the same thing. So change is good, and no one really likes change. You can say you like change like I just did there now, but deep down it's scary, exciting, it's all of the emotions, it's like an abundance of emotions, and it can be tricky to understand what it all means. So anyway, I'm blabbering on, and I just realized that candle went out. So that's a great start. But anyway, we'll continue. So we have 4 groups today. We have group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, and group number 4. And the crystals I will show you now. We have bloodstone, Dalmatian jasper, moonstone, and tiger's eye. So take a little memento if you need to, and the timestamps is in the description box, not in the comment section. I don't want to be bothered to do it in both, so sorry. Okay, I will see you in a sec. Hello, group number 1. So we're very minimal today. We only have 3 cards pulled. I don't know if I should pull oracle cards. Maybe I will at the end, depending on how long it takes me to get this all out. So I will show you the cards kind of individually, because these cards I use for when I want to like tap into my subconscious like really deep. So I love this deck. I don't use it. It's more of a personal deck that I use for myself, but because a lot of the changes we want to make and a lot of the fears that we have they're in our subconscious. So this is why I decided to use this deck. It's very different to most decks, but I shall show you. So the first card we're going to look at, let's see how far back makes it look. Okay, it works. That's fine. Okay, I just want to see how clear it comes out. So for this card, I feel like with that lion, it kind of gives me a feeling of the strength card in tarot, and we have air and fire here in this. So it's, deep down that there is something that there's a lot of things that you need to do. There's a lot of changes that you need to make. And I think that what this has to do with is you have been loyal to people before, and a lot of people have hurt you, I feel like, in the past. And just because of this second card here, which I will show in a second, I feel like it has a lot to do with you want to keep your energy to yourself, and you don't really like having to be around too many different people, too many different kinds of people. You like to just know who your group are and keep them close. Not in a kind of in a little bit of a like closed off way, because we have this card here, which is it's represented by the 4 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Pentacles is kind of like keeping, and we have power down at the bottom here, so keeping your power, which means just keeping who's close to you close and not letting them it's kind of not controlling them in a manipulative way, but I see that you might not really realize it, but you're kind of controlling people in an energetic way through your thoughts, is what I'm getting here. Okay, but I feel that some of you need to prove your loyalty to the ones that are closest to you, and a lot of you also are afraid of stepping outside of your circle of friends or stepping outside of your comfort circle, because comfort space, because I feel that it's going to bring up the past. Deep down in your subconscious, you have gotten to a place that, so someone with this lion, someone or something has happened in the past, and I feel sexual with this, so it has to do with an intimate relationship, and it didn't go the way you had hoped, obviously, because now it's over, but you got a lot of strength from that, and you really grew from it. But now it's like, okay, you've outgrown that strength. Wow, that's nice. So you've outgrown that strength. Now it's time for you to be challenged in a new way, and that is by you trusting people again and knowing that not everyone is out to get you. Okay? Yeah. So with this card, it's abundance. But if you can see, it's like there's a waterfall. Someone's holding up the flower. It's like the flower of life, the lotus, I think it is. And then down below here we have 3 pomegranates. So this could also mean that you are, abundance means a lot of anything. So this can be good and bad with this card. And I feel like the energy that you're holding right now is you want more than one intimate connection, some of you. So you kind of want to have fun with your emotions. You want to play out different scenarios. Some of you are having like little fantasies. Some of you are having really deep conversations with, because like this stream, this waterfall, I'm seeing like you're taking people to this like secret location of yours where there's a waterfall, or you're taking people into your home or whatever, into your intimate space, and you're sharing on a really deep connection, and you're doing that with a few people, and there's a few people that you have a really close, deep connection with, and with the pomegranates there, that is like, realize what seeds you're planting, because the pomegranate seed is, well, that red color, it's like root chakra energy. It's like, who do you feel safe around? Who do you feel close enough to get a little bit more intimate? Because I'm sure there's some energy around that, because I can see it here. There's some of that energy is around, and you need to realize that there is an abundance of everything. There's an abundance of sorrow. There's an abundance of joy. Abundance doesn't mean always good. Abundance just means a lot. Like, you have a lot of it. So you have a lot of choice here, because I feel like you have choice to choose who you want to be more intimate with. Okay? That's what's currently going on. And I'm also hearing like this is part of your suffering. Let's say back in your subconscious, you're really not sure about how you can be loyal to people. How you don't want to be burned. You don't want to be burned again. You don't want to have to go through this karmic thing. But it doesn't have to be karmic. But you just need to now like look at it in a different perspective and like think, okay, well, no matter what, I can't always be happy. It's like you can't avoid getting hurt. Even with the most amazing person ever, they're still going to hurt you at times. And when they're hurting you, it's actually, you're choosing it. But that's exactly what we have to look at here. What do you want to choose? Who do you choose that is worth all of the suffering? So if you do end up suffering, it's worth it because it's with that person, okay? Or with that situation. Because a lot of you, it could be, we have Capricorn here. I don't know if you can see it at the bottom. I kind of do read these cards as well because they have astrology in it. We have Capricorn in the sun sign. So when I think on Capricorn, I have a lot of Capricorn friends. I always think on work, like, oh, I just want work. And they're really good at it. They're really good at keeping busy, and they're really good at like doing so many different things that causes them to attract abundance, attract this stream networking, you could call it as well. So abundance through like work. I think that's where you know that you're aware that you need to go in that direction. You need to be more focused on your work life as well, and making sure that you're building that so that you feel safe. Okay, again, I'm bringing it back to I'm seeing the pomegranates again, and I'm looking at the root chakra. So the root chakra is your security, it's your foundation. And with this card, it's like, I hear that you need to look at your foundation, and you need to look at your situation in life at the minute. What is not working for you? What is taking your power away? So that could be so many different things. That could be, how are you spending your day? Are you spending a lot of your day on the couch, feeling sorry for yourself? Or are you taking responsibility and putting time aside for things that you really know are going to bring you further in life? That's the kind of questions that you need to be asking yourself. And you could be attracting in a Capricorn sun sign as well. So that could be something that is relevant to your life, that is the person that you maybe are more interested in. Tara was saying here, from your subconscious, Tara was telling you that the one that's more work orientated, doesn't have to mean they're a Capricorn, but the person who is more focused on work is someone that would be a good choice for you. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing here. Because as well, these trees, it's like winter time. It's like, this is a really good time for you to reflect on what this year's really been about. This year actually as well has been a 4-year, which is a foundation year. This is a year where a lot of us came home, me, myself included, came home. And that means some of us physically moved back home, and some of us, all of us have had this experience of moving back home, where that can mean moving inward, and really seeing the real home, the vessel that you are, and trusting that, okay? Trusting that you know where you're going in life, okay? Because you've spent a lot of time working on yourself, okay? And also look, because it has to do with the material world, this card. Look at where you're spending your money to. Are you overindulging or are you underindulging? Because this card sometimes can bring about a little bit of fear, like the outside world is getting darker and darker, so you need to prepare for the worst. Preparing for the worst is fear. Yes, things can get bad, but the world can crumble before our eyes, and if we're still looking at it and being like, it's not always spiritual bypassing if you know how to work around that. So I don't know how to get around that in this video, but like, yes, you can spiritual bypass being like, oh my God, love and light. But you can also look at the dark side of it and bring yourself back then to your middle and be like, okay, but if it went that way, how bad would it really be? Like, what would I do? You can kind of put yourself into that, but don't focus too much on it. You can put yourself in there, in that timeline for a second and be like, it's not that bad, and then just bring yourself back. I would rather focus on this, the good side of it. And then it's a lot of our problems in life is we don't want to look at the bad thing. And if you just look at it and see then both sides of that, and then you can look at it and be like, okay, it was fine. It's not that scary, but I'm still choosing the good side. That's my way of explaining that. I don't know how clear that was, but yeah. just know that I do feel like pulling one of these. I'll pull one of these cards. Yeah. I love this for you guys. I hope you did too. The harvest. So, it says, as the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees in the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me to harvest. I am ready to receive my all. This, I'm hearing for anyone that's in America, this could do with Thanksgiving as well. Maybe it's a really good time to pomegranate. Yum yum. Yeah. Harvest in the energy that you want. Start to realize the good fruit and the bad fruit. Which things are working for you, which things are not working for you. It's all about kind of looking at both sides for you guys, I think. Because what you have right now is good. Everything that you have right now is abundant. And there is good and bad sides to everything. Just look at it from like the perspective of like, what is it you really, really, really want? Like, chop chop. Understand yourself, please. It's like your spirit case is like, we give you everything. And now you're not even looking at the good and the bad side of things. You're just kind of, I don't know how to explain what I just felt. But it was kind of funny. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a comment down below if this resonated, and I will see you all in the future. Goodbye. Hello, group number 2. So, I have not so many cards pulled, but I did for group number 1, so I'll do it for all of you now. I will pull an oracle card at the end. This deck I use for myself more so. I don't use it that much on the channel. It's kind of a deck that I use when I want to really dive deep into my subconscious. And since the topic kind of is all about the subconscious, the fears and things that you don't want to change, but you know you should, that's kind of what this is all based on. I'm definitely already seeing we have 2 cards. Well, this is all fire, by the way, it's all wands. But there's a lot of Sagittarius energy, so maybe you are a Sag. And also this restrictions has really tested you because you want fucking freedom. Seriously, sorry, I had to curse because it was like anger. Like I feel anger and frustration with you guys. Okay, so let's just talk. I'm going to show you the cards bit by bit. So this is Jupiter in Leo, victory, and it is the 6 of Wands. I'm just looking at the card more a little bit. I'm just noticing those snakes. So yeah, the 6 of Wands is about victory. But I think that looking at the snakes here, it's kind of like looking at this flame. The higher up you go, the more things that you overcome and the more things that you destroy. Yes, you are victorious. You've overcome it because you're not. Failure is when you stop. You don't choose failure. You choose to be above that. You choose to keep going, okay, with this card. And I think that the more knowledge, just with these 2 little guys up here, the more knowledge and the more wisdom that you gain, the more darker it gets in the way that, like, you know, you see a snake and you know that snake could poison you if it bit you. Now when you bring spirituality into it, you start to you're not really focusing on a snake or things that are in the grass. You're focusing on the whole forest, the whole energy of the forest, the whole, I don't know how to explain this. You're understanding how everything is connected and how one bad thought can bring in a lot of snakes. And you're starting to realize that snakes symbolize death and rebirth and all of this. Like your mind is a little bit blown sometimes, and your subconscious can really bring a lot to the surface a lot quicker than it usually did before in your past. And it's almost like you're a little bit afraid of how fast things are moving in life at the minute, and you're not really sure about how you want things to keep going, because I feel like you are in the limelight, guys. Group number 2, you're in the limelight, and I feel that you are having a little bit of different thoughts about this, okay? I feel that, okay, the higher you go, the more knowledge you gain, the more snakes you see, the more darkness is attracted to your light, because you're the more light that you shine with this, the darker it gets. Do you get what I mean? I hope you get what I mean. It's like when you become brighter, more darkness comes to you. More moths are attracted to your light. So it's also very much like about being free. And I think that a lot of you, this has to do with travel. You want to just break away and kind of be almost like invisible. I think if you guys knew how to do an invisibility spell properly, you would do it all the time. But I think that a lot of you have a little bit of a fear of success, and you have blocked it for a while. You've blocked it a few times in the past, and now I think that things have changed, and now you're noticing that there is some sort of a different kind of success, a success that comes through spiritual gain. I don't know how to explain this. It's like you've been handed the knowledge, and now you don't know exactly what you want to do with the knowledge. Do you want to use it just for your own life, for your own personal stuff, and experience it that way? Or do you want to share it and let others experience it in their own way? Do you get what I mean? It's like, do you want to take some time off and learn about the things that you're learning? Or do you want to stop and have to teach people? I don't understand what I'm talking about, but this is what I'm picking up. So I hope that makes sense, because I feel like what's happening now is you're worrying a little bit about like this public recognition that you have, this like image that you have to start to understand, this new self that you've never had to really fully integrate. You're starting to think like, what is going on? So that's what I'm feeling, okay? And this could also be for the future as well. It's like, this could be anxiety about being recognized in the future. If you keep going with whatever you're passionate about, maybe I had this, I wanted to be an actor, but I was also not wanting to be famous. So that could be like an example of it, okay? With this, we have swiftness. This is the 8 of Wands. I fucking love this card. This card just means a lot to me because of a little weird experience I'm not going to go into, but we have swiftness. Mercury is about communication, and we have Sagittarius. So swiftness. That there for me is like, you're wanting to go. So I do think that this has to do with the restrictions. I feel like you're wanting to go. You are like, you see the rainbow, and you're like, I want to follow that rainbow and find the pot of gold at the other side. And I also kind of feel like this is also like a compass. So it's I am seeing so much travel here for you, and I feel like you're now, the energy that you're holding right now is you're so ready to just release it and go and express yourself and be free. So I think that a way that you can kind of integrate this energy, because we are restricted right now, a lot of us, so you kind of have to find a way to express yourself through communication, maybe, of being more free, about maybe speaking in a more free way and not having to stop yourself from, I think a lot of throat chakra stuff needs to come out. And a lot of people as well you might be hearing it, I feel like there's a lot of travel talk that is in your surroundings, in your 3D, okay? So you listen, open up your ears. Listen to what the universe is trying to tell you through communication of others, and also talking about like travel with people for the future is something that you can do, because I feel like a lot of people are not talking about travel because they think like, when's it gonna happen? What about the vaccine? And it's like, just how about you just focus on like that doesn't even exist, because it's going to go away eventually. It might be different. There might be some complications, but why are you focusing on that? Focus on what you want, and take the steps that you need right now, so that whenever the change is ready, that you're ready to go. And by doing that, you're also manifesting a new timeline, I'm hearing. So by doing that, you're manifesting a timeline that doesn't even have these complications that you put in your head. Okay, so that's just something that I'm hearing, because I feel like a lot of the communication is stopping you from being quicker. And this communicating with people that are also on the same kind of timeline as you, or are also on the same kind of, it doesn't have to be timeline, how can I explain it in another way? They also want to kind of just get going. Okay, so communication is definitely going to get things moving a lot faster. Okay, and there will be some sort of complications in the future, but that's okay. Okay, there will be complications around certain things, but that's stuff that we don't know yet. A lot of us, we don't know exactly how that's going to pan out. Okay, but there will be loopholes around travel. There will be loopholes around where you want to go, where you can and cannot go, and stuff like this. Okay, so I think that's why I'm picking that up from this card. Come on. So there, over. Maybe I should just. Where the feck is the here? Okay. Does that make it better? No, not really. Oh fuck. Why am I doing this in the middle of... I always do this. Okay. Strength. We have Moon in Sagittarius again. That's why I said Sagittarius is so like you. Your soul wants you to travel. Yeah, and this is the 9 of Wands. So this literally looks like a shield. I wish it would like... It does when I put my face up close. Okay, there's the card. I'm going to put it back now. Yeah, I feel like this has to do with also paying attention to where your Sagittarius placements are in your natal chart. That's going to tell you a lot about your future, what you kind of need to focus. I'm hearing that, so I don't know why that's coming in. It's like pay attention to where your placements are in your Sagittarius, because that's where your spirit guides want you to focus on for right now, for 2021. Okay. I feel like we're in the storm right now, and what you need to do is you need to get your bow and arrow and aim for that storm. You need to fight the storm. You need to go after the storm. You need to try and merge yourself with the chaos, because this is what's going to really strengthen you, and this is what is going to show you how strong you really fucking are. Okay. That's why I'm picking up from that. And it's also like, this is the warrior energy. This is the light warrior energy that wants to come in and wants to be fully integrated. And I think that you are pushing yourself to the limit right now, but that's exactly what you need to be doing. You know that you need to push yourself to the limit, even though it's hard. You know that that's what you need to do. And I think that that's what you need to do. I normally would say slow down, but no, if you slow down, you're going to have an absolute mental breakdown. Study. Okay. Well, study is slowing down. So, I don't know what that has to do with study. Okay, researching the things that are holding you back. So how can you get around that? I don't know what that... I feel like some people have plans for the future, and there is like maybe some difficulties with finances, or you're not exactly sure how you can do certain things, like how it works in that country. So we're studying the ways around things again, that's why the loopholes came in earlier on, where I was seeing the little tying the knot. It's like undoing the knot. Okay, because there is knots and there is things that are kind of stopping you, but you need to kind of realize how can you undo the knot, because there's always a way of undoing it, or getting through it. You know what I mean? It's like you can go around or under or up over. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you like that group number 2. Please leave a comment down below if it resonated. I will see you all in the future. Goodbye. Can't speak. Bye. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So, we don't have many cards. We only have 3, but I don't need that many. With this deck, I love just having a few cards because it's a deck that I use to kind of tap into the subconscious really deep, like deep. And yeah, these cards are very different to tarot, so I will try and explain what the card is, because you won't be able to see the imagery. But it also has some astrology in the cards as well, which is interesting, and I like looking at it. But for you guys, I know exactly where we're going to go. So there's not much to do with astrology here. It's kind of more so about a lot of inner work. Okay, so we have change. This is the 2 of Pentacles, and I look at this card. It's a very interesting card. I feel that some of you may be wanting to change your career, and I feel like you are experiencing some sort of similar energy coming back around, similar karma coming back around for you to have to experience again. So whatever that means for you, there is a reason that this is happening, because you haven't healed from whatever past issues came up before. And this has a lot to do with work, or it has a lot to do with your financial situation. So a lot of this is coming up again for you to re-look at it and be like, okay, what choices did I not make that were clever, that were very much there's a way, the way that this is, it's very much like you're not looking at it, you're kind of just ignoring it, and that is not what this energy wants you to do. You know that you need to take it, you need to make a change, you know that, and that's what's giving you anxiety. Anxiety comes up because it's in your subconscious. You know that there's a change coming, or there's a change that you need to make, but you don't want to make it. Okay, and it's very much what I'm picking up for the whole this. You guys are just really struggling with the change. You may be Gemini as well, because we have Gemini with the lovers here. You may be Gemini. I feel like you could be, but more so, it's not about that. This card, I'm just going to show you. It's really nice. I love this card. It's reversed. Again, this is Gemini, and this is making me feel Gemini because of the two. See the 2 reflections here? It's like you're not reflecting on the good and the bad in your life. You're not reflecting on what's happening, okay? Because this Queen of Water reversed. So I feel like at the minute the universe is kind of showing you the good and bad of every experience, but you're not looking at it, and this here as well, this card as well, we have like Jupiter in Capricorn, which is like it wants you to expand in your work life, it wants you to expand. It wants you to make massive changes with your financial, your work situation. So I feel like you have probably been someone who has went and did many different types of jobs, because the universe was giving you lots of experience in different areas, so that you had kind of different skills. You have a big, broad skill set. So really look at as well where Jupiter is in your own natal chart, because that can really explain to you where you need to be going with this energy I'm hearing. And again, Queen, okay, this is making me feel that you are You're disconnected from reality. You're disconnected from things that are going on in the world right now, and that's fine. A lot of us are. There's a lot of people in this situation, so don't feel like this is a bad thing. This happens to me all the time. It just means that you need to find some way to ground yourself, looking up how you can ground and things like that, because you don't really know what to think anymore with this energy. You don't really know what to think. You don't really know what to trust. Your head is just fucked from even feeling anything towards any opinions people have. You're just like, oh, I don't care. And that's fine. This is the energy that you're holding right now, and that will change. Okay? And I feel like this change is scary. It's scary, but it will happen and it will be great. Okay? But I want to let you know that not reflecting on what is happening around you is not going to make things easy. The easiest way you can help yourself in this situation is to realize what you are choosing. Are you choosing to be unhappy? And a lot of people are going to be like, no, we don't choose to be unhappy. But I don't know. Do we? I think that we choose to be unhappy. I choose to be unhappy. I know that that's right for myself. I choose to be unhappy sometimes, but that is because I'm not ready to look at what I need to look at. And I know that, and I accept that, and I have awareness over that, so that's fine. But I just want to let you know, are you aware that you're choosing to be in this state? Okay? Because we have the Lovers here, and I think that that's why I have to let you know that, because the Lovers is about choice. Okay, and it is to do with relationships. Whoa, nearly fell off the chair. I'll just show you the card first. There's a Gemini down here. With this card, I feel like you have a choice right now. You can focus on more self-love. If you're single, even if you're not single, you can choose to be involving yourself with people who don't really know what's going on in your head, don't really know how you're really doing. They're just kind of like don't understand where you are at the minute because you're disconnected. You're disconnected from reality, so people don't really feel you, don't really get you, don't really understand what's going on with you, so they don't really ask. A lot of people. So you need to understand what choices you want. You need to understand what are the choices that you want to make for yourself to feel a lot better. And if you are in a relationship, you need to look at it and be like, okay, is this relationship that bad? Look at other people's relationships and think, okay, I actually have it quite good. That's not for everyone. Some people, it's actually, my friends don't have to put up with this kind of behavior. How long have I been putting up with this behavior? Has it been too long now? Ask yourself questions, reflect on your relationship with yourself and with whoever, if you are in a relationship. Is it better than most or is it worse than most? That's the message that's really coming through from your guides the most, is like, have a little debate with yourself. That's what they want. They want you to debate. They want you to be like looking at what the good and the bad things are. You guys are having a big change. I would also I feel like there's someone in the middle of everything as well. So why are they in the middle? Ask yourself that question. Why is this person in the middle of my life? What do they want? Why are they wanting to be there? I'm getting an eye twitch. Getting an eye twitch and I get an owl. Wisdom. Yeah. That eye twitch for me usually is like, something's not right. And your soul knows exactly what you need to do. You know the choice that you need to make. And I think that's why you're kind of trying to give yourself a little bit of time, and that's why you're probably disconnected. Again, disconnecting from reality is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's kind of needed. So just know that that's not, a lot of people get triggered when I say that. You're disconnected because it's not, something hasn't come full circle, or something hasn't came, it's coming around, because it's here, it's kind of, it's in your subconscious. You know that something's coming around. It's giving you anxiety. So I think that what you need to kind of, however this works for you, give yourself some sort of a situation, or some sort of way of bringing this around, welcoming this change into your life. Whatever kind of ritual you want to do, if you are welcoming that in with love, being like, I know I need to go through this change. Come to me now. I love everything that happens to me. Because the universe puts you through a lot of experiences, a lot more experiences than most. You get the most extreme situations. Some of you may have like a little bit of Scorpio there either. I don't feel like it's going backwards. I don't know why I'm seeing a whirlpool of water going clockwise. So it's like I seen a toilet, like you're flushing the shit down the toilet. But you don't want a repeat of it. I don't know how to explain this. Your emotions are very, they need a lot of calming. So the wisdom, this is your power. This is your power at the minute. Your power is coming from working with, I feel like a lot of you are working with your ancestors, or trying to work with a higher power, higher power that has a lot of wisdom. But also be careful with that, because that is what's going to keep you not wanting to be in your body. Yeah. That is all I have for you. Group number 3, is it? Group number 3, yeah. And I will talk to you all in the future. Leave a comment down below if this resonated. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching. Hello, group number 4. So we are using one of my favorite decks for diving deep. This is a deck that I use when I want to kind of tap into my subconscious. Like tarot is that, but this is like really deep, because it kind of triggers me sometimes, and that's why I like it. So this is why I kind of wanted to bring it out for this reading. We only need a few cards, because it's it does things to me, this deck. But I will show you the cards up close as we go along. I'll do card by card, kind of. First of all, I want to say that what I feel here with this deck, or this group, is that you must be very much either you are psychic, but like there's a lot of how do I put this? There's a lot of occult darkness in your energy that you're trying to understand how to kind of direct it. Okay, and this makes a lot of sense with why I was bringing that up. Anyway, with this card here, we have art. I don't actually know what this is. 10, 14. What's 14? I don't know what 14 is. I forget what it is. But anyway, it says it's called art in this deck. And Sagittarius down here in the corner. Just let you look at this card. I like this card a lot. A lot. There's a lot of moon energy here too with this. Wait, okay, there's so many things I want to feel. How do I want to express this? I feel like something about this card is like you are almost a little bit afraid of being free. This is a very freeing energy here with this. I feel like you are kind of afraid to be free in some way, shape, or form. And it's almost like you really understand the dark, the shadow self of your own being. And I think that really deep down, you like a little bit of punishment. You like having the ego kind of push this scenario where you enjoy being in a dark place. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not really, because this is going to be confusing, because this is stuff that's submerged way down, in a lot of low energy points as well. I feel like art for me kind of, this art card kind of for me, and the moon card is like the intuition. So the art is the creative energy, so it's your sexual energy, your sacral chakra, and then the high priestess is your third eye. So it's trying to understand where and how you can merge these two intuitions, the human intuition and the soul's intuition. How can you kind of understand how to use them and bring them up through your heart space and learn to love yourself through that space, because that's where you're going to really find the change. You need to express your own art, your own creativity in a balanced way that is both the light and the dark. So not just focusing on one, oh, I'm depressed, so I'm going to focus on really doing a lot of things focused on depression and mental health and all of this, where you can just choose to balance it out. And that's what your guys are kind of throwing at me. It's like, we give you these situations, we give you this darkness because you like the darkness. You know how to, like, you wouldn't feel like you're fully having a proper experience if you weren't experiencing the darkness. And you get it. You'd get it a lot more than a lot of other people do because of your spiritual occult knowledge or spiritual occult knowledge in past lives. Because I feel like that's how deep this goes. It goes real deep. Yeah. I think that's what I'm getting. I'll show you the next card while I try and kind of sit and think. Again, look, she's holding an acorn up to her throat. What's that mean? Why am I focusing on that? Yeah, that could mean that you need to speak out about what you're intuitively feeling, because I think a lot of the time you kind of just let everyone else speak for you. You kind of let everyone else be your priestess. I don't know what that means. I think that means like you're connecting, the way you're using your intuition is almost on an external way. So you're using your intuition through like different practitioners. It's like you're not letting yourself be your own priestess because of the, I don't know how to explain this, because it's like you like being in the dark, and when you're in the dark you're not in your power. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like you're trapping yourself. There's some sort of that needs cleared out of your energy. I don't know what. I feel like that is something that's deeper, that like some sort of past life regression, hypnotherapy, something. You need to do something in that way is what your soul's showing. Yeah. And I'm also hearing that the new moon, I don't know what moon it is it the eclipse? There's an eclipse at the end of this month. This eclipse, most eclipses have a major effect on you. I don't know if you were born on an eclipse, but there is a massive, look at your chart, look at your natal chart, because, and this is the moon. Okay, yes, the moon. It's going to be of some importance for whatever it is that you need. What's the next step? I think that also understanding when you need to take a step forward or make some changes in your life, you always need to look at where the moon is, where the eclipses are in that year, and also understanding how the moons work, like the new moon. It's kind of timing, and just understanding timing is going to be great for you. And because I feel like you being so spiritual, you can kind of let yourself go and not use the masculine side of spirituality. Sometimes you kind of just drift. I was talking about that at the start, so it's kind of funny how that's coming up. In the intro, I was explaining about like how I like to work with the masculine side of spirituality as well, like to bring in both. And I think that's what you need to do, and that's going to really show you. It's all about expressing your art. How are you expressing your art? Is it all in your head, or are you actually having something that you can physically look at that is an expression of your internal world? You need to focus on that. This is a change that you need to make, a big change. Something that you're afraid to produce, just do it. Like Nike said. Nike for people in America. Yeah. This is a time to really... I'm hearing that this is a time to really look at yourself and see who you have become. Who have you become? Who have you become? What do you not like about yourself? What do you like about yourself? Because you have some sort of... I see a road. I'm just wondering, is there a road here? There's not a road, but I see a road and I see potholes. And those potholes are filled with water, muddy water. So when I see that, that is my guides telling me that you are... It's like a spiritual ego trap. It's like when you think you're diving deep and you think that this is spiritual growth, but really it's just muddy. The water's muddy and it's a pothole. It's just a little place for you to get stuck for a second while you're on this journey. The spiritual path sometimes has to slow itself down, so it kind of has to throw in like the spiritual side of ego, if that makes sense. So, yeah. What are your spiritual potholes, as I like to call them? What's your ego trap on your spiritual journey? What is it? And I think a lot of you know what it is, but I feel like most people, generally speaking, this is going to be a lot about like talking about when you see someone doing something that you don't approve of or isn't really spiritually aligned. Are you judging them? Because if you're judging them, then that's a spiritual pothole. Because you shouldn't be judging anybody. Spirituality is not... Spirituality is quantum. That's the best way to explain it. Spirituality is quantum. There are so many different ways you can do it. There's so many different things you can follow. It is not one size fits all. It is whatever you want. Spirituality can be dark. Spirituality can be light. Spirituality can be a blend of the two. Okay? That is what I want to say about that. And I think that that has to change. You have to work on like getting triggered by people who are just so low vibe. But you don't have to join their low vibe. I think that's another thing. I think that a lot of you think that when you're around low vibrational people that you become low vibe. That's not true, because your consciousness is too high vibe. Your consciousness doesn't just switch off and you lose your memories. You don't just die and reincarnate when you're around people who are on a lower vibration. You just have to dip down into that 3D way of thinking. But the thing that you need to understand is you have a higher perspective. They're not going to understand it, so you're wasting your time even trying. They're not going to understand it unless they ask. And if they're asking, that means they're tapping into the fourth dimension of consciousness, okay? But if you've got 5D consciousness and you're trying to explain it to them, they kind of look at you and they're like, what? Because it's almost like their soul doesn't let them. It's like their soul's like, no, I'm not ready for that. This all takes time. We didn't just shift into 5D consciousness. This took a long time. But we're hearing about 5D consciousness now because we are at that point where we're in it. So we need to know what it is or whatever. But I'm already learning about other levels of consciousness because I'm already experiencing them. So I'm learning about them as I'm going. And that's kind of what I need to kind of explain to you, group number 4, is that everyone is working on their own stuff. And you just need to be an example for them and not try and prove anything to them or not try and force anything on them. Okay? I think that's the main change here that's going to really keep you or get you back on track, because you're not I don't know why your spirit guides are really harsh. They're just wanting you to know that you're not better than anyone and no one is any better than you are. So why are you trying to be better? It's like you will only feel like you are seen when you see exactly what it is that wants to hide in the shadow. There is a part of you don't understand that is trying to hide. And that part of you is the one that's telling you that you like to feel down. You like to experience. It's almost like you're making excuses as well. Sorry, I'm really harsh on you, but it's not me, it's your spirit guides. This group is like, you don't even know how much harm you cause yourself when you say certain things. Like, I just get in really low moods, and it's nothing serious. It's just something that happens to me, and I know how to deal with it, and it's my thing. And It's like you're trying to take ownership for your own sadness. Like no one else can understand it, only you, because it's only you're allowed to understand it, and no one else is really allowed to help you because you get it and they don't. And it's a spiritual thing, and it's not something that they would understand because it's deeper than just depression, or it's deeper than just anxiety. Sorry, I felt like I was kind of channeling there a little bit. So that might come across as a little cunty. But that's just what I had to kind of get out. So I hope that made sense. And with this card, I didn't even really need to look at this card, because this is kind of that shadow that's dancing in the background, trying to act like, I have not been exposed. I can just dance around and do what I want because I'm a little princess. That is that part that I was kind of channeling there. So I just want you to know that, okay? Because your future is moving very, very, very divinely, I will call it. It's just now you need to understand that you need to understand the people that are not avoidable and what you need to understand about that. How you can kind of learn to be okay with being around people who are on a lower vibration, and understanding that judging them is okay. It's a learning thing. You need to learn how to not to judge people, because you're uncovering a new way of living and a new way of understanding. So it's going to be hard to understand why people are the way they are, but you were once in that position as well. Okay. True love, come to me now. I think that is all that needs to be said. This way of thinking actually has a lot to do with Age of Aquarius kind of energy, feeling kind of alienated from the crowd. If you want to attract a loving relationship, you need to just be open to diving into different places, diving into this community of people and seeing what you like and what you don't like. diving into that community and seeing what you like and don't like. It's about experience, okay? So I hope that made sense. I don't know if it did. But I know that you guys are very intuitive, so you might not even need my help. But thank you all so much for, watching. And I will see you all in the future. Comment down below if it resonated. I don't know if I said that already, but I am losing my voice. Actually, I need a glass of water, and I'm talking still, and I don't know why. So I'll see you all later. Bye.